All right. This is a new one and pretty interesting. It's called Matico, but it has some other names too. Um, Piper aduncum and also soldier's herb. And so this one has two uses. The first, the most popular, is kind of goes with the name soldier's herb. You can wet it, mash it up, and put it on a wound, and it helps to heal the wound faster, basically. But it can also be taken as an infusion in tea, right? Reading through some of the NIH reports, the way they, extract all this stuff is they dry it and then put it in ethanol alcohol to extract all of the chemicals out of the leaf. But that does mean that you lose some of the polyphenols and some of the plant material when you do that. But here's why this is interesting. So it's the scientific name is Buddleja globosa. Buddleja globosa, and it has this flavonoid chemical in it called luteolin. Luteolin. Now, of course, there are some other chemicals and stuff in the plant that we do know about, but I wasn't able to find any studies or anything like that on those other chemicals. But the main one, the one that has been tested for, the one that is used for, is the luteolin. Luteolin. And it's also found in broccoli, onions, apples, carrots, celeries, parsleys, and chrysanthemum flowers. So anyway, the importance of this particular herb is that it does not allow your blood to clot. And so they call it an antiplatelet drug, which I believe is different than like a blood thinner, right? Or anticoagulant is another one. This was an antiplatelet, and it literally helps keep the blood platelets from sticking together. And it's typically used for someone after they've had a stroke, after they've had a heart attack, to keep those things from happening again. But like I've said before, keeping something like this in your diet as a, not a daily or everyday thing, but, a consistent thing, adding it to your diet can keep you from having those strokes and keep you from having those heart attacks, because it keeps the blood from clumping together. This is also part of the pepper family, like black pepper. It does actually grow little pepper seeds or fruits, rather, I think they're called. But I don't know if anyone is actually grinding those up and using it on food. So I'm really curious to see what this is going to taste like. I don't know if it's going to taste like black pepper or not. Mm. Hmm. It's not bad. Yeah, definitely black pepper. Yeah, definitely black pepper. No getting around it. It is basically water, add a bunch of black pepper, stir it around, and just drink the water. Leave the pepper flakes out, right? But yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like. It's not bad at all. It's not sweet. It's not bitter. Um, it's just kind of peppery. And I think this was a pretty big infusion. I was trying to kind of eyeball 5 grams, but I'm sure I went well over that. I'm going to be really curious to see if I can get this to steep a second time as well. Some of the drugs that are in that antiplatelet class are clopidogrel, ticagrelor, ticlopidine, Prosegur. Um, there's another one. I can't even say these names. Absicamab, Tifapid. Okay, what's the point? So anyway, so there's more than a few drugs out there on the market that do the exact same thing as this. Mm. Now, whether or not this plant was used in formulating those drugs, I didn't go that far into my research, but I may do that just because I'm curious. Um, it's very difficult to find like literal like a chemistry cookbook for prescribed drugs, but you can do some homework and find out like who was the first person that created it, and then you can kind of look into how they created it, what they were working on, what they were researching in order to come up with it. And so in that way, you can sometimes find recipes for stuff. And then there's some drugs that that do give you the recipe right out. One of the more famous ones is Tamiflu. I think Tamiflu is kind of how I started down this journey of trying different herbs and just in learning about different herbs, because Tamiflu is made with and I'm forgetting already the name of that stuff that smells and tastes weird. Anise, there we go, star anise. Yeah, like I think I want to say 80% of the world's star anise production is used to make Tamiflu. And so it's just like, all right, well, you can either wait until you have the flu and then go to the store and buy Tamiflu, or you can, you know, drink some star anise infusions as a preventative, because the tea itself is never going to be as strong as the medicine, because like I said, the medicine is typically taking the chemicals and take them out of the plant, and so you're losing a lot of the other benefits and other things that the plant has to offer. There's also things that counterbalance those chemicals, and that's the reason why a lot of medicines have drawbacks, in my opinion, is because you're losing some of that counterbalance that you get from the whole plant. It's a very interesting smell too. I don't really get it on the dry leaf, but so far the cold infusion is good. I like it. This is definitely something that I could just drink regularly. I mean, it's just flavored water is all it is. And it does have something of a sweet flavor, even though it's definitely subdued, you know, but you can kind of pick it out a little bit. All right. See, I think I've let this steep for about a minute. Really vibrant green color. The NIH says that you can overdose on antiplatelet medicines, just because, like I said, there are times where you need your blood to clot, right? And when you have a lot of blood thinners and anti-platelet drugs in your system, you do risk bleeding out if you cut yourself or something. So it's sort of peppery, sort of, but it's much more of just a a wet green smell, not anything specific really. Really pretty leaves. I've never seen a pepper plant, but I imagine this is something, it would look something like that. It looks very peppery. It's very leathery too. And so I imagine if you're making some kind of poultice with this stuff, you would probably need to shred those leaves because you're not going to be able to really mash them easily. So I said vibrant green, but it's really more of like a kind of a yellowish color to me. Wow. You know what's crazy? The pepperiness is dialed up so much that it's actually kind of sweet. That's crazy. I remember a long time ago, there was some recipe for some dessert that called for black cracked pepper. I don't remember what it was, but I remember thinking that that was really odd. Um, but yeah, it's like at first, it's like just peppery, not like overly peppery either. Like it's not too much. Like it's just, you're like, yeah, it's black pepper basically. And then at the end, you get this sort of sweet thing going on. So it tastes exactly like the cold brew, just dialed up, maybe times 3 or something. It's not bad. I mean, I definitely prefer the cold brew. Um, but it's good. Now I'm definitely gonna continue to drink through the hot brew just because it's kind of cool today. And having some of that warm, warm water in my system feels really good. Something that I thought about the other day um, that I may try, even though I didn't bring any with me, is adding salt to some of these infusions because, oh wow, the pepper is really heavy on my tongue right now, really heavy. It's like my whole mouth is like peppery. It's kind of tingling a little bit. It really tastes like if you just picked up whole peppercorns. And I mean, I've never done this, so it's hard to imagine, but like maybe if you put like, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them in your mouth and kind of just roll them around and then spit them out. And that's the mouth sensation that I'm having right now. It's really cool. I mean, like I said, I'm really happy with this, and the fact that it has this anti platelet benefit. I mean, you know, anything that can um, anything that can help with not getting a stroke, not having a heart attack, I'm down with. So it's good stuff. All right, from me to you. I holla.